Thank you for tuning in to the Life of KG podcast. We are all about helping you guys in the beauty industry. Whether you're starting out in this industry or been in the business for years, we want to motivate you, educate you, and support you to grow. Enjoy the show.
Hey guys, welcome back to A Life of KG. So first of all, I wanted to tell you what an amazing weekend I had. So I was in Cardiff and I met so many of you that actually listen into the show because we was at Always Beneath to Beauty events. We've done an event with some amazing speakers at the weekend, and it was just so great to meet everyone and connect with those that we just talk online with every single day, but actually have never met in person. So it was really fun. So have you ever been to an event? What do you think to events? We also have World Lash University coming up in May, which is going to be awesome. We have speakers from all over the world flying in to teach you about lash tips, business, how to be more of a successful trainer, social media. Like, there's so much that we're covering that day, and it's going to be really, really good to meet people. There are a few tickets left, so please get in touch or check out the website, worldlashuniversity.co.uk, I think it is. So yeah, get in touch if you want some tickets or if you're interested in sponsoring the event also. It's going to be really good and not to be missed. Anyway, so back to this episode. Today I am interviewing Adele. Adele is my coach. She specialises in releasing anxiety. She is super amazing. She's helped me so much in just, I think it's about 4, 5, 6 weeks I've been with her, and we're not done yet. She's just so good, and she also works on mindset too. So we're going to go into a little bit of anxiety and a little bit of mindset work today, and you'll just see how amazing she is. She's really motivational and uplifting. So I hope you guys will take a lot on board from this episode. If you like it, please like and share on social media, subscribe and leave a comment in the review box, and I'll be very, very grateful. Anyway, without further ado, here is Adele. Adele, thank you so much for coming on the show.
You are so welcome. It's amazing to be here.
Oh, I'm so excited. So can you tell everyone who you are and what you do?
So my name is Adele Marie Hartshorn. I am originally from Cheshire and I moved to Bedfordshire 2.5 years ago. Now, I specialise in human behaviour. And so exactly what that is I'm literally obsessed with humans and how they behave, mind-body connection, how we can heal ourselves. And basically, I help people to live the happiest, healthiest life that they possibly can by using things like life coaching, NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming, which basically means rewiring your brain, neuroscience, and hypnotherapy. I've also been teaching yoga for 18 years, so I'm also into lots of Eastern philosophies and things like meditation, and I have millions of different tools to help me do what I do.
Wow, that sounds like an absolute superpower.
Yeah, I feel like it's a superpower. I absolutely love what I do. And I actually woke up, 15 years ago, and knew that why I was put on the planet. I knew that this was my life purpose. I knew that this is what I was meant to be doing in my life. And so I just went on I've been on every single course that I possibly can. It's kind of a standing joke with my friends that I'm always on a course learning more about human behavior and how your mind works. So yeah, it is superpower. That's good. I like that.
Yeah, definitely. And you can't stop learning. Like, there's always something new to learn. So
I really think that we're always learning and growing. If you're not growing, you're dying. So there you go. Grow, grow, grow. Grow, girls, grow.
So Adele, what is your story? Obviously, everyone's got a bit of a background story. What made you want to help those that suffer with anxiety?
So, good question. So I was brought up in a pub back in Cheshire, and when I was 10 years old, if you'd have been with me in my kitchen, you would have seen a silhouette of the woman who is my mother. And I remember her turning to me and saying, "Oh, Adele, your weight will be the bane of your life. I feel sorry for you. It's going to be awful. You're going to struggle with your weight." And I remember just looking at her, and my hands were behind my back, and I shook my head, and being the rebellious little thing that I was, I made a decision there and then that I would never be like my mum. She'd struggled with her weight. She then later, a few weeks later, went in for weight loss surgery, which was then a gastric staple rather than a gastric band or any of the newer methodologies of weight loss. And she nearly died. So I was 10 years old. My mum had gone for elective surgery and my mum nearly died, and she was really, really poorly. I understood from a really young age the correlation between thoughts and physical well-being. I just got it, but obviously I was too young to articulate it. So when I was a teenager, I was really outgoing and giddy and enthusiastic about life, and I talked to everybody. I was outgoing, but inside of myself, I had loads of self-doubt. I didn't really know who I was. I was really quite negative. I beat myself up the whole time. I just thought that I was the worst thing. I was the worst person. And inside that outgoing, vibrant young woman was somebody with no self-belief or self-confidence that came from a deeper, more authentic point of view. So basically, I turned myself vegetarian at 16. My whole family, farming family from up north, went into meltdown. What are we going to do with this child? Like, who even is she? So basically, even now, it's a standing joke. Like 27 years later, my dad will say, "You're Adele, leg or breast." Like, these spare ribs are lovely and that. So I researched everything about eating the way that I was eating, and I learned about lots of nutritional facts and figures, and I understood that also what I was eating was making me feel a certain way. I then went on to, I lived in the Canaries for a little while. I went on a bit of a detour. I actually trained, my first job was being a beauty therapist.
Oh, wow.
And, yeah, I know. And I loved it. And I loved the holistic side of things. And I just knew that I wanted to help people. However, it didn't stop there. I kind of went on a detour and went to live in the Canary Islands for a little while and just partied and was wild and had loads of fun. And then I moved to London. I was a dancer and a model, and I actually saw from the inside world of all of these beautiful women who were putting themselves down and also not feeling very good about themselves on the inside. So that gave me a deeper insight again to human behavior and us women especially. So then I changed my career and went into the fitness industry. I trained to be a personal trainer. I used to teach classes, everything from aerobics to body conditioning. And then I got into Pilates and yoga. And I started to understand on a deeper level then how fitness and movement and breath and then meditation would impact us on a human level. And so they're not satisfied with those qualifications. I went on to do my life coaching. That was about 14 years ago. 15 years ago, I had my daughter. She'll be 15 this coming Saturday. And so I brought her up single-handedly. That's been fun, as you know. And in between times, I've done life coaching, NLP Master Practitioner, and clinical hypnotherapy. And my first book that I wrote was called Permanent Weight Loss, because again, it's something that I specialized in coming from the fitness arena, and also learning what I learned around the mindset of people who wanted to change their bodies. But I knew intrinsically that actually you have to change your mind. You have to change your thoughts before you change your body. So I did that and specialized in that for a little while. And then when I moved here 2.5 years ago, my business started to massively increase, and it was just so many people were coming to me with anxiety. And I just had this way of getting rid of it or helping people to manage it really, really quickly. You know, some people had been in therapy for years with a counsellor, and, you know, after one or two sessions, they were like, oh, wow. So then I became really obsessed with anxiety, you know, just wanted to understand more about where it came from, and the differences in different people. And so then I wrote my own and developed my own course. It's an online training program. And now I train other people to do something called anxiety release method. So I've got, you know, a couple of therapists on there, a couple of yoga teachers, just anybody who wants to add that to their bow and help other people by letting go and helping their clients to let go of anxiety. So I've become a trainer's trainer now, which is, you know, the journey. And there is my story, long and short of it.
Wow, that's amazing.
Thanks.
So good. So obviously, like, you're really motivating and uplifting, and you've personally helped me with mindset and on my anxiety journey as well, which has been amazing. I think last time I saw you, I was like, oh, my anxiety's gone. I don't know what to do with myself.
It's really funny. Well, it's not, I mean, we laugh. I mean, the way that I coach people and the way that I give people therapy, I mean, as you know, I want to make it fun, and people think that that's bizarre, that, you know, I'm dealing with trauma and upset, but actually we have a laugh while doing it, because, as you know, people learn better when they're having fun and they understand things. So people often say to me, oh, I've woken up and I've realized that I'm not actually worried. I'm like, brilliant, awesome. But because people live with anxiety every single day, it's almost like when it's not there, it's like, oh, hello, you know, it's gone.
Yeah, it's really, really odd. And I was like, okay, I actually, it's not until you think, oh, I haven't had anxiety this week. This is weird. And then another week comes and I'm like, how come I'm not getting anxiety? Your brain kind of tricks you to try and then get it back. It's really weird.
Actually, this is part of neuroscience, and if I may, I'll just explain to you why this works, and this would probably be helpful for any listeners that do suffer with things like anxiety. So the way that your neurological pathways are wired up, if you've struggled with anxiety that was triggered by an emotional event at some point in your life, then what happens is you get your neurological pathways get really quick at firing up the emotion of anxiety. So what that does, it pushes down several hormones down into your body. So cortisol, the stress hormone, adrenaline, obviously your fight or flight system kicks in, because this was created back in the days when we got saber-toothed tigers running after us. So that enables us to feel anxious, and it enables us to get really good at it. So if we've you learned something and stopped ourselves, now it's very conscious when you're doing things, you know, simple things, maybe breathing techniques that can prevent anxiety really taking hold. Now, if for 10, 15 or 5 years, whatever, you have been creating the stress hormones in your brain and sending them down to your body, all of a sudden your body's going, hey, what is going on? I have rewired my whole system to accept anxiety, to accept these stress hormones, and now you're stopping them and preventing them from kicking off. You're joking. I'm going to give you a little jolt, create some of those hormones myself, and send them back up to your brain to give you a little nudge and remind you that you are anxious. And so sometimes people can be like, oh, I kind of felt a bit anxious, I kind of felt a bit odd. And it's just your body just readjusting to something new. So your brain and body are so intertwined that yeah, it's quite a complex thing, but it's really interesting when you start to understand how your brain body connection works. Then actually just that knowing, the knowledge, it empowers you, and you can go, okay, yeah, I get that, you know, that makes sense. And yeah, if I'm having these kind of little jolts of anxiety and then I kick in some of my tools that Adele taught me, then yeah, I get it, and we can just manage it.
Yeah, definitely. It's so clever. I'm
I
just
know.
fascinated by the whole thing.
Yeah, it is really, really intriguing. I absolutely love, and love the way that it works, and love the way that actually we don't have to believe that we struggle with depression and anxiety. We can be helped. We don't have to live this life where we're stuck with this thing forever. And that's, I think, my mission really in life, make make people aware, make everybody understand that actually this is not something that you need to deal with for the rest of your life.
Yeah, definitely.
Which
I
is
mean,
really exciting.
yeah, it really, really is. So, like, how do you keep so positive? And obviously, our listeners are mainly business owners, not everyone, but mostly, or they're starting up and they live very stressful lives. What kind of things would help their mindset?
Right, okay, so I have got lots of different things that I do to help me. Another brilliant question. So I think what's really powerful is routine. So I'm up most days at in between 5:15 or 5:30, depending on what I've got on. I do up to 45 minutes meditation. I sit quietly and either listen to some guided meditation, or I sit and often I'll have a question for myself, and I'll find a question intuitively, and I'll sit and focus on my breath and just consciously be aware of my own body. So meditation is absolute key. And if you're not a meditator, if you're listening, then honestly, get into it. If any of your listeners want a free meditation, I'm happy to provide one for them, so you can listen to it. Then I exercise, so at least 4 days a week I'm in the gym, and I also do yoga. Obviously, with being a teacher of it, I'd like to do more yoga, but I do yoga at least for myself a couple of times a week. So exercise, yoga, meditation. I juice celery juice then every single morning. Most mornings, I'll say
Oh, what's that taste like?
celery. But yeah, it's not like I said to somebody yesterday, actually, it's a real anti-inflammatory. So it helps to reduce inflammation in your body. Now, every kind of disease starts with an inflammation of your cell. And this is also including anxiety and depression can it's an inflammation. Um, and every organ of your body gets impacted by your mental and emotional state. So I love to I've been juicing for a long, long time. I studied in a place in San Diego, actually, many years ago. Well, how long ago? 20 years ago, I went to a retreat center, and saw people curing themselves of terminal disease when they'd been given no hope. And so I got really into juicing. So I juice many things, but more recently I've started to juice regular celery juice. Juicing is a really important thing for me because it helps me to stay focused. It gives me energy. It gives me nutrients. It keeps my immune system boosted. So again, if somebody's wanting to empower themselves into amazing health and well-being, I would highly recommend juicing.
So would that be a meal supplement for you?
Sorry?
Would that replace a meal, or would you juice and have a meal?
Well, normally I don't wake up hungry. I'll have my juice and then I get hungry about 10:30. Now, working for myself gives me the flexibility of eating at that time. Although we're building a yoga retreat at the moment. As you know, we're building a big retreat center. So we've not had a proper kitchen for ages. So my nutrition hasn't been as good as it used to be. I'm going to be really honest here. But I've always, planned carried bits of food around with me. I don't do dairy and I don't eat meat, so I've got bars that I carry around, so I'm not tempted to eat something that's really sugary and nasty. So again, food prep is really important because it keeps you feeling and feeling energized, and how it gives you clarity of thought. And also it's so much more than that, because what that's doing is feeding into my own esteem. So it's helping me love myself on not just a esoteric, oh yeah, I'm going to love myself more. It actually gives me a tangible tool to enable me to feed and nourish my body and my mind. So if that's not something that you guys have explored, I would recommend that that is something that you do explore with prepping your food and feeding yourself. I don't believe in diets. The first three letters say it all to me. I think that we should nourish and feed our bodies. And then if you want some chocolate, if you want the odd dessert, eat it with joy, rather than depriving ourselves. I'm all in for, feed me, give me some food to eat. So yeah, I like to make sure that my juice is in my system. And so it just enables me to start my day the right way. I do take supplements. I take the doTERRA supplements. I've been taking them for about 4 years. And since I first turned myself vegan about 18 years ago, I have played around with lots of supplements, and those are the best for me. What else do I do? I also listen to my own hypnotherapy. So I find that that's really important, especially if I've got a lot on and I'm finding that I'm getting really stressed. So that's really, really important. Also for me, having my own coach. If you don't have your own coach and you are a business owner, I think that you are doing yourself a disservice. You have to keep investing in yourself. I'm like we joke about it. I'm always on a course. I've just paid thousands and thousands of pounds to be mentored in the Professional Speaking Academy by a guy called Andy Harrington, and actually I've trained as one of his coaches now. So I've got people around me who are elevating me, and that leads me nicely on to my next point. Take care who you hang out with. I cannot say enough about this. You are going to end up the closest to the closest 5 people to you. So if you hang around with a load of negative Nancy's, that is what you're going to end up like, and it's going to be a total drain on your energy. And as a business owner, an entrepreneur, as somebody trying to push forward in life, you'll know how precious your energy is and how you need to preserve it. So hanging out with good people is super duper important, and I think that's a really important note here for you to make. For if you're listening to this and you've got some negative people in your life, I know it's tough if it's family because you have to do this mindfully, but just take care who you hang out with. That's a real important part of keeping your mindset strong.
Yeah, I fully agree on that as well. And I started doing that a few years back, and I can't tell you how much that helped me. And even when it come down to, this sounds bad, but I don't even care. When it comes down to like social media and not wanting to see certain people and what they're doing with their life or business, because it might make me consumed into their life or might make me feel shit about my own business or something, then I get rid of them.
Yeah, good. That's brilliant.
Why do you want to feed your brain all of that, or take your eye off your own company or your own life? So hanging around with the right people is key, and what you're consuming on media also is key.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's really good to stay like declutter, declutter your social media, declutter who you hang out with online. It's as important as in real life, because we hang out online now as much as we do in our real life or more. So yeah, I think that's really important, actually, to stop following people who don't make you feel good. Also, another thing here, Katie, that I'd like to say is I don't watch the news. I don't read the tabloids. And I can't. I'm like, I am so done with the stuff that, you know, because it makes me feel bad. And the way that I check in with what's going on with my life is, how do I feel right now? How does my body feel? If I'm feeling energized, upbeat, if I'm feeling good, then that I'm doing something right. But if anything makes me feel negative or upset, or like it zaps my energy, I don't want it. I don't even watch horror movies. My family laugh at me, but I don't like anything that's gory or that's got killing in it, or, you know, they call it living on planet Adele, but I'm good with where I'm living.
Yeah, it sounds like a good place to be.
Absolutely.
How important would you say mindset is? Like, do you think that it sets apart the successful from the unsuccessful?
Everything starts with mindset. I think it's like, you can't do anything without mindset. Everything comes to the way that your mind is set. Everything. Your thoughts lead to your beliefs, and your thoughts are totally integrated, which then it has a direct impact on your behavior, which has a direct impact on your results. And that is as simple as it gets. So you have to think about what you think about. You have to think about your belief and your belief structure. I do a lot of work with every single client of mine. As you know, I look at beliefs in every single session, and I'm always asking, what do you believe about that? What do you believe about that? And what are you making that mean? Because inevitably, most of us are not questioning what we're believing about a certain situation, or a certain behavior, or a behavioral pattern that we are running. So I think for us to question ourselves is super duper important. So mindset it's where everything starts. It's where your ideas start. It's where your tenacity comes from. It's where your determination is set, and it's where your positivity is. So a mindset is key to absolutely everything in life.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if your like mindset is negative, then you're never going to be able to push forward on your business or what you do in life if your mindset's holding you back.
Absolutely. And the thing is, people do push forwards, and then they have underlying negativities that they don't even realize they're there. And then everything just becomes a real struggle. And so people come to me, I deal with a lot of executives. The way that at the moment, the way that I present myself is, I help busy people to become more productive by allowing them to release the thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors that hold them back from being that. So you can be a busy fool. If you've not got your mind in the right place, you're going to be taking action that's not serving you to push you forward. So many people get really upset because they think that they're failing, when actually, if you can just tweak their mindset, then the whole business can totally do a U-turn. So it's so important to get that adjusted. If there's something in your life that you're feeling like is real hard work, or is holding you back, to have somebody else that you can be accountable to, that will call you out on your stuff, is so powerful, so powerful.
Yeah, definitely. I love accountability.
Yes.
Yeah, so a lot of like salon owners, beauty therapists, those obviously that are working for themselves, suffer with obviously going back to anxiety.
Yeah.
I guess it's just because there's so much pressure, their work-life balance is non-existent, and it can be very lonely. And then when they go into being a salon owner, obviously then they're running teams, and that can be really scary as well.
Mm-hmm.
What tips can you give to those that have these anxiety pressures?
Right, okay. So that, again, a brilliant question. So make sure that you've got your routine, and like I explained before, and your time for yourself. Make sure that you're eating well, drinking well, and looking after all of that health aspect, so that you can free your mind and clear that energy up. Then I would say you need to set healthy boundaries. You need to set healthy boundaries so that you know that you can look after your mental and emotional well-being, and also your team members will then know how to treat you, because people will treat you how you allow them to treat you. So it's really important for you to have boundaries in place. So for example, like, let's keep it simple, you know that none of your staff are able to call you after 9 o'clock at night, so that you can switch your phone off and have some downtime, so that you are having time to rest and regenerate, and make sure that you take some time out for yourself, so regular breaks or holidays, or even just staying at home without the phone ringing like crazy. And another thing, have a team of people around you, or a coach that can hold you up when you're feeling wobbly. I totally get how, as a solopreneur, without a team around me for many, many years, it is a very, very lonely road to success. So to have people around you who are going to support you, who are maybe in your industry or get what you are going through, is super duper important. Breathe deep, laugh loudly. Laugh, and although it's serious stuff, this business lot, try and have fun with it. And also always remember your why. Why is it that you got into this business? To serve and grow. You wanted to serve other people and help them, and then you want to be the best version of yourself professionally that you can be. But ultimately, I think to keep focused on the serving of others and contribution, for me, even if it is becoming successful financially, so that you can contribute financially to a good cause, or your family, or whatever. Get a why that is bigger than any of your problems, because when the problems come up, as you know, sometimes it's really like enough to create anxiety in your system. Yeah. It's really stressful. So just keep focusing on why you are doing what you're doing, so that energy and that power stays behind you when the going gets tough.
Definitely. I love that. Oh, Adele, you've helped so much today. I bet so many people are going to take a lot from this.
I really hope so. Again, I'm all about contribution. How can I help the world be a better place than it is? When I leave this earthly plane, I want the world to be a better place than when I arrived here. And if I can do that by, talking to as many people about what I do as possible, then I'm just happy.
Yeah, definitely. Where can people find you if they want to connect? Because I'm pretty sure lots of people want to get in touch with you.
Oh, that'd be great. So I'm on Instagram as Adele Marie Coach. My Facebook page is Adele Marie Coaching. My website is www.adele-marie.co.uk. So adelemarie.co.uk. And I'm on LinkedIn as well.
Oh, okay, perfect. And then I just thought I'd put in there as well, actually, we have a lot of trainers that listen in, and even though they might be beauty industry based, lash trainers, nail trainers, that type of thing, I think there's so many people in our industry that are suffering with anxiety that those trainers would most probably be interested in your course that you hold, to be able to teach people to do the anxiety relief method. Can they get in touch with you through those platforms?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a page on my website that talks all about the anxiety release, so they can have a read of it there. But let me just give you my email address in case anybody is interested in that. And I'm love public speaking, so if anybody ever wanted me to go into their institutions, into their salons, to do any motivational, transformational speaking, then I'm so up for that as well. So that's all good. So my email address is adele@marie.co.uk. So that's pretty simple and straightforward.
Perfect. We'll put that in the show notes as well, so people can easily get to it.
That is so good. And then my anxiety course is Anxiety Release Method. And that's on my website.
Fabulous. Well, Adele, thank you so much for giving up your time today. I know you're a busy lady.
No, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I'll see you myself in the morning for my session.
Look forward to that.
Thank you so much.
Okay, see you later.
We would love to hear what you thought about this episode.
I love the show, guys. You're awesome.
Please leave a review and share on social media tagging @KG Salon so we can share.
I always follow them.
Until next time, have an amazing, successful week.